Hello, hello, hello. My computer just had a pop up that blocked me. Give me a minute. Hello, 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 hello. Good evening, everyone. This is Home Care Queen TV. And yes, I know it's Valentine's Day, but I decided to come on for a quick chat about gift giving on special occasion. But before I continue, I want to cheers to all my wonderful viewers, all those people that have been loved right through the year, but today is just a special day. I want to say cheers to you, and I wish you all the love in the world from today and beyond. Okay? Thank you so much. And as you come on, I am going to ask you to like, share, and subscribe so that you will know when I'm on. And for those of you who has been supporting me, again, I say thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't take it for granted. I don't take it for granted at all. And I appreciate you coming on if you're on this special evening. And again, this is Home Care Queen TV, and I am your host, Muriel Melville. Let's do a quick chat about gift giving in the caregiving arena. Now, I'm going to first, someone suggested that I talk a little bit about the differences between private care and agency care. As you know, the basis for this channel or for this platform is to encourage or to open an avenue of thought to hire private caregivers. But also, I said before, I have nothing against anyone that wants to use an agency. I have nothing against it. However, the focus is here is to open an avenue for family to feel that there are more resources, not just agency. So I'll talk a little bit about agency and caregiving. Now, on the agency level, most of them, if not all, suggest to family that you don't give gifts. I personally have always had an issue with it. I've always had an issue with it because look at it. There's someone taking care of your most valuable possession, your family. And the person, yes, they're working. Yes, yes, yes. However, when the holidays come up, and this is not to say you have to, this is to open thought process. So the mailman gets a gift, the housekeeper gets a gift, the gardener gets a gift, the delivery person gets a gift, and in gift we'll say tips. In caregiving, we don't say tip, we say gifts. So every service provider that comes, every service provider that you interface with for services, they're given a slash tip, a gift. So if you wish to give your private caregiver a gift, when I say gift, it's on your discretion. I'm not saying to go out and buy them a Bentley or a Jaguar. I'm just saying just a token. It's a special day, like today's Valentine's Day. Just a little token, a little chocolate. Nothing, extravagant. Because what that does is it's more about building the relationship and more about the person feeling appreciated. So if you give them a token on a day like today, what it says is, wow, she considers me in the whole scope of gift giving during this season. Now, for an agency, agencies here where I live have always said no gift giving. But I'm saying if you hire someone privately and you feel to give them a token, it's totally up to you. And in all honesty, if you hire an agency and you have caregivers that have done wonderful work for you, and in your house is celebratory, they have spent 12 hours with you today, and they see all the, the flowers and the candies and everything coming by, and it's not it's not against the law to show someone that you appreciate them, because especially now more than ever, we've been locked away for so long in the last 2 years that folk need to feel appreciated. They're really, yes, they're getting a paycheck. Yes, we know that. But your gardener is getting paid. Your housekeeper is getting paid. The mailman is getting paid. And they also gets give. So why can't we give our caregivers? It's up to you how you decide to do it. But what I'm saying is, it's more about what comes behind the gift. The person is thinking about me. Most folks are single. Some people are widowed. Some people are divorced, and maybe there's no one giving anything. And the fact that you gave a candy bar to the person that's taking care of your loved one, it speaks volume. So today, while we're loving on our family and while we loved on our friends, from today forward, let's rethink how we treat our caregivers or a care provider during special holidays or special celebratory days. So it's not to say that you have to do it. This is just an avenue of thought. Because I'm telling you, I have heard caregivers say it over and over and over. Imagine it's Valentine's Day and she didn't even give me a chocolate, not even a candy. I'm taking care of her family. I'm going home alone. I spend the whole day with her or him, and they gave no appreciation for the day. Again, what it says to the person is they're valued and that you're thinking about them. So it's bigger than the candy, it's bigger than the flowers. It's about the person feeling that you see them as a human being. You see them as someone that needs to be just appreciated, because there's so much folk out here that are single, that are living alone, and sometimes the only interaction they have during those special days is the day they work for you. So they're there on the holidays, they're there every time because at least they're not home alone. So showing appreciation is totally up to you. But remember, the thought behind it speaks volume for your relationship. Don't get me wrong, please. I am not saying if you don't give a gift, the individual will be upset. No, they won't. Um, they're so seasoned, not getting anything on a holiday, especially working for agencies, that it doesn't matter. But it does matter because they talk about it. They talk about it. They talk about it because they're humans too. So I'm just coming on to remind us to spread the love. Spread the love. with our caregivers, with our family, with everyone that we come in contact with as much as we can. And you don't have to spend money to let the person around you feel appreciated. You can say, or I'll suggest that you say to the person, Happy Valentine's Day, Happy Holidays, Happy Birthday. Just show them that you're thinking about them. Okay? The other thing I'd like to address is someone sent me a text and asked me to talk about this. And I said I was going to wait to do it and I wouldn't do it tonight, but I'll spend a few more minutes. They wanted me to talk about, as I said before, agency versus caregiver. Now, remember, agencies, there are organizations that sometimes have not sometimes, they have steps that they have to follow because they're either a chain business or a business that has a corporate office and then plans other agencies in different states. So the rules for agencies are much different than the rules for private caregiver. But let me say that the private caregiver, they're private caregivers that are insured. They're private caregiver that are insured. And sometimes the thought is that if you work privately, if anything happens to you, then you're going to sue me. Private caregivers have also quite a percentage of private caregivers are insured. Now the agency, if something happened in your home, say someone gets burnt or need to go to the hospital because they fell in your house or something like that, the agency covered the cost sometimes. However, if they fall in your home, again, most people have medical insurance and malpractice insurance. So if a person falls in your home and they did not break their leg, or even if they do, but it wasn't something catastrophic, most of the time they can just go to the emergency room on their insurance. So you don't have to worry about covering them. And this again, for private, it's an individual thing. For me personally, I was hurt on a job once, and the family was really, really kind. They took me to the hospital. I told them I had my own insurance, and they stayed with me until a friend came to keep my company. But then they kept in touch with me. I was out for about 2 days, and they kept in touch with me just to see how I'm doing. And, that did a lot for me. It showed me that they cared. Also, the family paid me for the days that I was sick because the incident happened in their home. I did not take any type of anything against them, reporting it or file a complaint. I didn't do anything like that. We dialogued about it and we settled it together. I wasn't seriously hurt. So talk to I would suggest that you speak to your caregiver about these things. And if the caregiver, if anything should happen to the private person that you hire, be present for them. I know you have to worry about somebody coming in to fill in for the person, but be present for them. Unless they're hurt to the point that they cannot speak or cannot move or cannot walk, most of the time, and in my experience, when I had an accident on the job, I wasn't bleeding to death. I wasn't having a heart attack. So I waited until they called the night person. Could she come in early? I waited to, I took care of myself, used all my first aid and everything to keep me going. And I waited until the person come and then I left. Unless the person is seriously hurt, a private caregiver, as I said before, private caregivers know what they're getting into. They're prepared, they're experienced, they're well skilled in how it works because I'm private, and what's the expectation. So if a person gets hurt in your home, don't panic. Just be present for them and make sure you follow through so they feel appreciated and feel that you understand that they're hurt in the moment. The next question is, what if the person sues me or take action against me? Honestly, the percentage is so low. It's so low. Unless a person has been abused in your home, whether sexually or physically, I've never heard, and I did some research, and the percentage is so low of someone suing a family because they were hurt in their home. So feel comfortable knowing. And if you're not comfortable, have the dialogue with the person that's in your home that's taking care of you or your family. Say, what would you do if you get hurt? Have the dialogue with the person. Just do it in an environment where they're comfortable. But again, let me reassure you that a private caregiver, even though they're not covered with all the umbrellas of an agency, they have taken steps to keep themselves working for you and functioning without all of the agency's policies or issue, because they have developed their own tool on how to manage as a private individual. Okay, so I let me recap. We spoke about, is it okay to give a gift to my caregiver? It's totally up to you. However, if you decide to do that, it opens an avenue for the person to feel mm, that you are in their space on that day, that you understand that I have a human being working in my home, and validating the day with them, happy Valentine's Day, happy birthday, will make them feel more connected to me as a human being. And it will also lend for relaxation and comfort in the home when the holidays come by. And when it comes on to working for an agency and working privately, agency rules are much stricter because they're a bigger organization, they're a chain organization, and the rules goes for everyone. And not because the individual is not working with an agency does not mean that they're not qualified, experienced, and suitable to work for you. Okay? So I'm not going to stay on long tonight because I know everyone is busy with their bubble is coming up. So thank you for watching. And remember, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend. And if it's not a friend, still tell them. Tell everyone that you interface with about Home Care Queen TV. Don't forget to tell someone that you love them, not only on Valentine's Day, but every possible moment you get. This has been Home Care Queen TV, and I am your host, Muriel Melville. Don't forget to like. Have a good night.